Alright, so I'm back with Kaiser Do as Lovecraft's New England, and we're getting further and further to finishing the Civil War, next to securing upstate New York. The final rebel holdout is the remnants of the state of New York. The upper part of the state was practically abandoned once Mayor Fiorello LaGuardia declared that New York City was no longer part of the state of New York. Ever since then, the state has been racked with lawlessness until Canada came and restored order. Now they are the last block of resistance. The Governor Herbert Lemon and the tattered remnants of the rebel forces. They are close to collapse, and once we begin our mighty offense to Albany, the last holdouts will surely crumble. So this will give us a core on upstate New York, and it'll no longer be demilitarized. Alright, so we just finished the project over Internet Focus, and I'm going with this one next to Terror from the Deep. At home or in the seas, where terrors such as many are unimaginable. To combat these horrors, our pride must be in our Navy, which with our Anglo brothers before us. Our proud Navy, a sign of prowess, strength, and of course a sign that New England is unbreakable, that we can fend attacks of any sea-borne foe, whether they are syndicalist hordes or the trembling forces of the deep. So Maine, Connecticut, Massachusetts, and two others will get one building slot and one naval dockyard. We get 3 times 100% research bonus for the naval doctrine. We get 2 times 200% research bonus for submarine models. IEDC advisors. Our contribution to the IEDC allows us to take advantage of the pool of advisors, the benefit from which is greater depending on how much we contribute to the group. How shall we use them over the next year? I guess we're going to put them to construction this time, so construction engineers would be very helpful. Secure all of New England. New England is secure from the impure. Providence and his gallant allies within the Providence Society and the Loyal Coalition have destroyed the anarchist, the socialist, and the impure. That'd be interesting to see an anarchist New England, but that's probably never going to happen. Anyway, this is a day to celebrate. New England is whole again. The Civil War is over. So we secured Vermont, New Hampshire, New York, and Maine, and this will remove the national spirit of the New England Civil War in 15 days. Okay, so we finally finished the Terror of the Deep, or whatever national focus, so we can go with the Into the World next. So here we go. It lets me click it. Come on. Okay. Come on. With the Civil War ending, Lovecraft and his allies have expressed an urge to expand further. Lovecraft wants isolation, while other more Anglophilic members of his cabinet want rapid expansion. So we get base war support plus 12%, and New England becomes free from Canada. But I think we still stay in the Entente when we do this. Anyway, here we go. So this kind of applies to us, I'm going to read it. The Western Command Center is capitulated. The American government has gone into exile and their main forces have capitulated to the Pacific States of America, who is now in control of their home area. Although the struggles between the Pacific States of America and the Western Command Center are over, the Pacific States of America is still at all-out war, and the fighting continues elsewhere. Uncertain times. Alright, so I just finished the Into the World focus, and I can either go with Show Them Our Light or Embrace the Darkness. I want to try to conquer the rest of the North America, so I want to go with Show Them Our Light. Anyway, Show Them Our Light. Providence's New England is the last bastion of dignity and civilization in the New World. We cannot simply cower in the face of long odds. We must reach out and liberate our American brothers from savagery. We'll get 100 political power from this, which I guess that'll be helpful. Canadians apply for West Point. The class in 1944 has just arrived, and their numbers are far below expectations, as it is still necessary for senators to recommend prospective young men. The decrease from 100 new cadets is to just 14. It has been suggested that we allow Canadian politicians to recommend their young men to West Point. We are in dire need of new officers, and yet at the same time, this time-honored tradition ensures that this institution isn't used by foreign powers, much less the Crown. So I can say don't cross party lines and we get 50 political power, or we do need the people and we get 700 manpower. I'm planning to reconquer America, so that wouldn't really be a problem anymore, so I'm going to go with don't cross party lines, I think. So there we go. Prepare for the confrontation. The outsiders and the Americans are all foaming at the mouth to take New England back. We cannot allow this. We cannot let the impure ruin New England like they did for hundreds of years beforehand. We must defend our land with our lives. So in upstate New York, we'll get 8 land forts basically, and provinces, but 2 per province. So I want to go with that focus so we can start attacking the other factions. We can finally go for this focus, which is what I was waiting for. Lovecraft's America. America. Land once pure has been corrupted by the Mongoloid hordes eternally going against Providence's desires. We will have none of it. While New England has seen purity abounded, America beyond has fallen to the whim of men without vision. The time is as good as ever. Providence will strike now and free America from the impure. So we'll get a next war goal against the combined syndicates of America, the United States of America, the Western Command Center, the Constitution of American Republic, the American Union State, and the Pacific State of America. Which, obviously first, after this thing, we're going to start with the combined syndicates of America since they're the only one we border. Alright, so we finished that last focus. I'm going to go with Establish Delta Green next. If it wants to let me read it, I should have clicked it beforehand. Anyway, come on. Deception is a right, truth is a privilege, innocence is a luxury. Born in the U.S. government's 1928 raid on a degenerate coastal town in Massachusetts, the covert agency known as Delta Green opposes the forces of darkness with honor, but without glory. Delta Green agents slipped through the system, manipulating the federal bureaucracy while pushing the darkness back for another day, but often at a shattering personal cost. What needs to get done? For a start, books need to be burned, artifacts smashed into powder, and men need to be silenced. Most of all, the future must never be allowed to become the president. So we'll gain a national spirit, Delta Green, which gives us foreign spurts of activities efficiency minus 10%, stability plus 10%, war support plus 15%, division defense on core territory plus 10%, and damage to garrisons minus 20%. The war sports element didn't really matter because we're already maxed there, but I'm going to do this one. Since we got war goals from that and I have the Entente on my side, I'm going to declare war on the combined syndicates of America. They still have Bill Haywood in power, but anyway, that's besides the point. Here we go. And I'd show most of the war, but my computer kind of goes slow with this stuff, so I'll show the important parts, like if we get events saying the fall of whatever city. Anyway, here we go. Now we should be at war. Alright, so I got an event right after the war started and all these people joining the war. So the Australasian Confederation joined, I think the Raj Authority, the Kingdom of Canada, which was the one I was hoping, and we got this event. The Great New England Hurricane in 1938. What was first considered a non-issue, the Yankee Clipper Hurricane arrived on Long Island September 21st and would only a few hours later turned out to be the largest hurricane to set foot in New England since the Great Colonial Hurricane 1635. They forgot a word in there, I think. Moving north from Long Island to Connecticut, Rhode Island, and up through Vermont, the storm cost the lives of close to 700 people. By the end of the devastation, over 57,000 homes were destroyed or damaged, and road networks all across the New England region lay in tatters, with projections estimating that it would take us months or even years just to reopen them to traffic. Then just a lot of stuff gets damaged, which, that sucks, but God save us all. The fall of New York City. New Englander militias have been fighting sparse skirmishes with the Red Guard down the Hudson River. This morning, the palisades, both natural and man-made, fell from syndicate hands. Not long after that, Manhattan Island was forced to capitulate rather than risk the massive loss of life that urban warfare would bring. The syndicates have ordered the remainder of the Red Guard to transport the gold from the Federal Reserve building to safety, leaving behind many financial workers imprisoned on Welfare Island. The whole of New York City is now under the control of New England, and a massive relief effort is underway to assess the full scope of the damage the syndicates did to the city. New York is ours. Good. Even though we're not the ones who took it, still applies to us. The fall of Chicago. American forces have been pushing towards the combined syndicates of America's temporary capital, Chicago, for a while now. Reports are now coming in of the city's capture by advancing troops. William Haywood's current whereabouts are unknown, but it is believed he has fled the city with militia units. Reports indicate that military police have begun rounding up and arresting potential agitators and important syndicalist figures, and that many fires are spreading unchecked through the city's high-rise districts while American forces struggle to establish order. Perhaps the war will soon be over. We haven't got that far, but we're pushing into Pennsylvania, and we took all of New Jersey. Cult of Providence. To our proud people, the word of our leader is law. And to all the proud Teutonic stock of New England, Lovecraft is a leader greater than any seen before in the wake of man. All pure New Englanders saluted his gaze. Hail Providence, immortal sovereign of New England, and all of America beyond. We will remember him now and for an eternity to come. So HP Lovecraft gains all-seeing, all-knowing, which is plus 0.25 political power gain and plus 15% stability. So I don't know why it didn't let me take Pennsylvania or anything, or it won't let me even though I'm controlled most of it. But anyway, Combined Syndicates of America has capitulated. William Joseph Simmons has announced that the cowardly syndicate nation could no longer withstand the pressure from the overwhelming presence of American forces throughout the country. The syndicate government chose to flee the country and has gone into exile. The main forces have capitulated and constitutional American republics now control their home area. Though the war continues elsewhere, this is a great victory for the constitutional American republic. Great news. The fall of Detroit. The constitutional American republic made their move yesterday evening to secure downtown Detroit, crossing the river at the Jefferson Corridor against heavy Red Guard resistance. By nightfall, the constitutional American republic soldiers were negotiating the surrender of soldiers holed up in North End. The East End surrendered, with the syndicate loyalists were spotted making a retreat across West Side. The syndicate militias have left behind the husk of Fisher Building, Dearborn, and the great works of Albert Kahn. It is obvious to observers that Detroit is now the territory of the constitutional American republic, but not before the Red Guard destroyed the Edsel Ford Memorial Building and left a massive edifice to their cause on the something signed by the notorious artist Diego Rivera. Yeah, I couldn't tell what that one word was. I think it was viaduct. A blow to the syndicates for sure. Then I can only take New York City for God knows what reason, even though I had all of Pennsylvania and New Jersey in my control. And I guess that'll be my turn. Well, I got screwed over in that one, basically. Oh well, I guess. I declared war on the federal government. I think Afghanistan joined. I don't know about Canada or any of the other ones yet. But I'm hoping they join, because I can't do this war without them. But I'm going to set the army to defensive stance, probably. Or cautious, or whatever it's called. The X Brigade. Exists within our world are forces beyond our understanding or reasoning. While some might dismiss them, we accept them and attempt to find out more. A former FBI agent by the name of Mulder, who now serves in Delta Green, has approached Lovecraft to discuss the subject of otherworldly beings contracting New England. With him are so-called X-Files, which apparently prove that the old federal government was hiding the existence of extraterrestrial life. These revelations, if shown to the public, could shake the world to its core, so keeping the existence of any extraterrestrial life under wraps is something of utmost importance. After talking with Lovecraft, Mulder suggested the creation of an X-Brigade to deal with the existence of alien life forms. Forming it would be a serious drain of public money spent on something that may not even be real. However, Lovecraft's belief in the beyond may sway him to fund the ambitious new project. So we could say the man is clearly insane, or authorize the creation of the X Brigade. I guess I'll authorize it for fun. No event popped up with it this time, and I don't understand how I keep not getting Pennsylvania, even though I was the one that controlled it. But this is how this treaty ended up. I got New Jersey, Maryland, and Delaware, while the Constitutional American Republic got Pennsylvania for whatever reason. Anyway. So I got these pop-ups after the federal government already capitulated, so, here we are now. The fall of Washington. The New Englander Army has advanced towards and captured the symbolic capital of the United States, Washington, D.C. They stormed the Capitol building and met strong resistance, but eventually they broke through, and the flag of New England now flies over the U.S. Capitol. This has led to a major crackdown on the government officials there, with mass arrests reported and even rumors of summary executions in the Capitol itself. Although unconfirmed sources claim that most important federal government figures were evacuated during the battle, with their current whereabouts unknown. So we can say Washington is ours, or whoever controls Washington controls America for now. Since we took Maryland, I'll just say Washington is ours. The federal collapse. News traveled quickly today that the federal government has collapsed in the American Civil War. What land was formerly under its control has been swallowed up by the other American factions, and the last remaining federal leaders were reported to have met with generals from New England in order to negotiate the terms of their complete surrender. The whereabouts of Douglas MacArthur is unknown, but he is also believed to have already been placed under arrest. The future of the United States, it appears, rests in the hands of the faction which tore it down. Shocking. I'm kind of gonna see what this is. The United States of America has capitulated. The federal government has gone to exile and their main forces have capitulated to New England, who is now in control of their home area. Although the struggles between New England and the United States are over, New England is still at all-out war and the fighting continues elsewhere. That isn't true, we're not at war right now. Uncertain times. Project Blue Book gets results. As Lovecraft dedicates more effort into finding extraterrestrial life, the more results are found. After citing my locals off the highway in Vermont, I think there should be by, not my. Anyway, the X Brigade and the so-called Men in Black were sent to investigate. Upon arrival, they found the Might saucer crash in a nearby valley. The Men in Black quickly dispersed the crowd while the X Brigade secured the surrounding area. But the men soon realized that a cover-up was not as easy as expected, and the saucer appeared to be 2 to 3 times larger than originally estimated. The massive craft was first dug out from the ground, while almost a brigade of loyal National Guard units sworn to secrecy and Providence's elite guard located the craft onto a fleet of heavy trucks and drove it to a secluded location under the dead of night. Once they had housed the craft in a vast hangar, Lovecraft and his closest confidants went to Vermont for a visit to the alien craft. The question now in everyone's mind is what to do with this craft. So we can crack it open to see what secrets lay inside. We'll get 50% chance of getting the event, the wonders of the unknown, or 50% chance of getting the event if you play with fire. Or we can say leave it be. We've seen too much, which loses 50 political power. I'm gonna say crack it open and see what secrets lay inside. Okay. I don't know when I'll get that event. Oh, we actually got it. The wonders of the unknown. As the brigade of scientists tried to crack open the mighty spacecraft, they failed time and time again. Hammers, chisels, power tools, and even torches at 100,000 degrees. Nothing could make anything other than a dent. As they grew more desperate, they resorted to firing artillery shells at the craft in the hopes of breaking it open. Their mighty technology might have kept us off them for a while, but we eventually managed to pull through. As we managed to get inside, we found the bodies of the alien captains, as well as a treasure trove of technology never seen before by mankind. With these new mighty weapons on their side, we can accomplish anything under the sun. We are now gods. So we get a 200 times research bonus for nuclear technology, a 500 times research bonus for computing technology, and a 200 times research bonus for rocketry technology and jet technology. We are now gods. Woo! Also, unfortunately, that's all the time I have for this part, so goodbye for now.